Hey, what's going on, Joey Crash? I was wondering if the software allows importing real-world locations. You can import height maps. If you get the height maps from real-world locations, then yeah, you could import it here. Right now, I'm just trying to get the overall, you know, mountain shapes. I'm looking at some maps to see, like, hey, what the elevation is. Shape files. I don't think it can import shape files. Not as far as I've seen, but I mean, you could confirm. Yeah, thanks. The software is really powerful. I'm just um, trying to figure out a structure to make it look like this, something like this. But I know this is not a complete map. Um, but I'm just trying to map out the overall island before I bring the height map into Unity, and then you know, yeah, my OBS seems to be disconnecting tonight. But yeah, I was saying I'm looking at elevation maps to get an idea of just a basic idea of how the mountain range is, because uh, what I had before was just not enough as far as the heights of the mountain, right? I want the south to be lower. So I still have to add some variation because this is just like way too flat. But this area here is a swampy area. Well, it's supposed to be a swampy area. Um, so I want it to be really low lying. And then once I get the basic shape and kind of get the mountains looking good, not too realistic, but have it looking good, I can export the height maps and bring it back into in Unity. So let me mess with some of the filters to make the whole thing kind of add some erosion and stuff like that. Add some this erosion here. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty new to it too, man. That's really good. Alright, so slope start, slope end. Yeah, you can't have it too high, so in the flat spots you'll kind of see some erosion, which is cool. So I'll add that, and then I can add some wind to kind of smooth things out. Because it's a game, you don't want it to be too rough. So right away, just adding the wind kind of just... Alright, let me see. And we have the wind direction. The wind will be coming from the sea, basically. Man, I can't believe you remember that. Oh man, those were the days, man. 3D Max 2.5. I want to add some cave systems and stuff like that. So, but I really just want a starting area. Hell yeah, Beast Project in class, hands down. Yeah. I was like, they were teaching mad slow, man, in there. I'm like, man, I came to school to kind of learn something that I didn't know, and they're like, oh, this is how you model a box. I don't know what was Darren teaching y'all, man. I can't even remember. Why is this red? That's crazy. Alright, I think I need some. Let me see. Like, this woman is really small. I think the real challenging part about this is gonna be designing things around the landscape, right? Making it kind of have a feel. Basic stuff along with kinematics, stretch, squeeze. Oh yeah, and some other animation stuff I forgot. Yeah. Well, yeah, you have to learn the basics, but yeah, I have to do some stuff to block these mountains. Because this is kind of intended to be the starting area here, down south, like a beach, where the story kind of starts before you get to, you know, the beautiful mountains and stuff. And right now the map is really small. Well, it's not small, but it's not as big as I want it to be. It's only 446 meters. So pretty tiny, but if I mess with it just right, yeah. Let me apply that and close it. And so what are you trying to do with the, you know, with this software? Are you trying to do some stuff for oh my gosh. What am I trying to think of? You know, the land stuff we used to do. My brain is it's kind of tired, but oh, just curiosity. Okay. I thought you were trying to do something with the satellite data, with, you know, the real estate stuff. That would be kind of cool. All right, so here, I think I'm gonna make it how, as kind of how I used to live, where I used to live in Trinidad. There was a thin beach, right? And this is so the texture map is just for reference. It's not, you know, it's not supposed to be high poly or anything, but we used to have a thin beach followed by some grass and a cliff going up. So if you're down on the beach, you're not really seeing anything else. Um, Kind of that's up there. You won't be able to see like the whole landscape across because it's just kind of going up and blocking your view. Just learning what's available. You never know what inspires. Yeah, I actually, it's funny. I actually bought this thinking it was another software that I used to use back in 2001. What was the name of the beach? The beach had no name. It was a local. It was. I could actually show you. You could call it like Embarcadero Beach because that's where I used to live. But I'll show you since Trinidad is so small. So, where's this satellite view? All right. So I used to live in San Fernando, right? And let me see if I could find it. San Fernando General Hospital. Yeah, there's a cemetery, and this is where I used to live here, right? And the beach. Well, when I first moved in, this area here that you're seeing with the trees, this is actually like a cliff, right? So you have the thin beach here. Embarcadero Marina Pier Park. Yeah, that's new. If you saw that, that's new. No, next to Pier Beach. No, this was the beach here. It didn't have any doesn't have any name. It's not like a famous beach. It's just a little village beach. Yeah. So we had a beach here, right? And it was close to a mangrove. You know, the river ran into the beach. So you'd see the thin. Yeah, for some reason tonight OBS wants to just disconnect. But yeah, the river used to come out here, and we used to go like on little adventures and stuff. Actually, is that the river? Yeah, that's the river. And all this was the mangroves and stuff. We used to see all the animals and stuff like that. So I'm trying to think of a way where I can use the little piece of land that I have and create some, you know, create some towns and stuff like that. I don't want it to be like if you play WoW, remember the area that I started at? You're kind of enclosed into that little area, and you don't really see much until you kind of venture up the hill. That's what I'm thinking of doing for this. As it stands, like when you land right here, you kind of see everything. So it still has a lot of way to go. Druid area, the Night Elf area, Tetrasil, yeah. And for me, that was like when you introduced me to that game, that was the best place I could have chosen because I think my whole experience, like it helped me. Like I think if I started off in the human area like Stormwind, I wouldn't have been as impressed as if I started where I started, right? Because I had to get so far to get to Stormwind that when I made it the first time, it was like, oh my gosh, like this is the big city. And now I'm playing in the human area. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't start off there because it's like right next to where you start. Back on the topology. And I'll definitely have to do some painting because these things, um, they help you to make bigger changes. And all these diamonds you see here, if I take step 3 down, I think it might destroy everything I have, but it's gonna give me smaller diamonds. So this is not the only way to mess with the terrain. You could actually paint the terrain areas too, with like brushes and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I just made that change and it kind of destroyed the beach. Yeah, now now it's not a beach anymore. So maybe I shouldn't have done that. I'll just have to average out everything else. Yeah, I'll have to average everything out to meet somewhere in the center there and kind of give it a smooth thing going down. But yeah. If they start here, let me take this off. Yeah, now their view is kind of blocked. So I'll make this whole area a little bit higher. And you could create some stuff. Here is going to be a forest. Alright, somber clearing is going to have trees here, right? To kind of block, and it's going to have dead trees here and all types of other stuff. As in this, right? And the map is going to be about 3 times as large as it is right now. And then we have the 3 islands, which is fine. Kind of want some sirens here. They're just gonna be chilling and jumping in the water and all that good stuff. I should try the tree assets to see. Actually, yeah, let me do that. I'll create an area and just drop some of the default trees they have in here and see how how it's gonna kind of look. So create add area. I'll name this somber clearing. make it like that. And what's cool, there's like a shape filter. So if I wanted to, I could just come in here and kind of trace this a little bit. But it's fine. So have somber clearing. And then I can go to filters. Wait, is it under filters? No, it should be under objects, scene, objects. I'll add a new layer and I'll call it somber clearing trees. I'll change that to somber clearing, add objects, world creator. And they just give you some default trees here. I'll just use this. Oh, they have tree trunks too. So I'll add and close. Right. So they added some trees, and let me actually put this woman next to a tree for size. So the trees are too small, but there's a distribution, and I'll raise the density. And there should be some variation settings, right? Because right now they all look the same size. So with height range, okay. Oops, don't crash. Let me actually save this. Save. What could be the max height? Let's put 5. It's very dense forest. Alright, I could probably change the density down some more. Oh, you could see the LOD. That's funny. But you could also change that LOD settings and stuff like that. Yeah, let me take her close to the tree, because Yeah, these trees are not big at all. They're not, you know, too big. And let me change the density. Let me bring the density down, maybe to 50. Now it's too sparse. And let me just see what it looks like when I put it in ultra. And I wonder if I could apply those. So we have objects. I should be able to. I don't want to do it manually, but I already applied it. So how do I remove some? I guess I have to mess with the shape. It even has some trees on here, which is cool. Okay, so once you apply it, I guess you could just it's already there. Stretch your legs. All right. All right. Excuse me. So select object, So I could select a single tree and delete it. This area is supposed to have burnt trees and stuff like that, but yeah, I just stood up, did a couple squats. Drank some water. Yeah, okay. There's actually another software that's a competitor to this that I didn't know about before I bought this, and that's really good too. I forgot the name of it. I think it's Gaia or something like that. Oh, it would be nice if they had a box select. That'd have been cool. I'm pretty sure they have something where you could select, but it's pretty fast too. This is tedious. They should have like an eraser, you just click and hold it and it just deletes. Then I want to add some real textures to this. Just a grass texture to see how it's gonna look. So I'm gonna replace this texture for now. Alright, so I'm gonna replace this. I could probably even blend it, but just turn it off. So add, go one folder up, and then we have all types of grass textures. So grass and mud, let's add that. And you'll see the tiling, but when you start layering different textures on, it's gonna look better. That's grass 4. Let me see what grass 2 looks like. Alright, so we have 3 grass textures here. Now flow is a cool thing. It's like it shows you where all the water and stuff is gonna flow from. have noise. So it's trying to blend between the two textures that I have here. So let me see. Stop this one, stop this one. So let me add a mud texture. So we have cliffs, mud. Let me add and close that. Oh, this is interesting. Alright, and let me mess with some settings here. Let me actually remove the mud and add a rock if they have some rocks. So they have cliffs, they have grass, they have dirt. Let me see what the dirt looks like. Oh, this is like dry dirt. Okay. Delete, add. They have rocks. This is probably not gonna look good. Add and close, yeah. You can mess with the settings, add some metallic, some smoothness. Change the flow to something else. Let me see. That's a metallic. And you could add flow to this too. So each texture, that's interesting. And then that would blend with the previous one, is that it? Yeah. You could get some really good effects with this if you know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but yeah, so I see. So the flow it blends with the previous. So it blends two textures together based on how things are going to flow based on the topology. Which is interesting. So if I put some If I turn this back on and I put flow for this, now that mixes in. Yeah, I'm gonna need to do some tutorials on flow and texturing in general. Let me go back to environment and make this. Let me change the latitude and longitude. Textures, we have the rock, noise select. So how did it look? Let me change this. Alright, so under the rock, I add noise. I want to see what that's gonna do. Wait, where is the rock? Okay, so you see it has some mixed in grass now. That's pretty cool. But when I add the noise, select, the world size is 4098. Oh, you can only go to 2000. Okay. You can change the scale. This right now it's 4. I'm not seeing much of a change. Let me zoom out and go to a rocky area. I guess the flow is messing with it. I don't know. Okay, so we're adding some noise to it. Follow sun direction. Oh, and then you could reserve it to a certain height. If that's what I think it is. Relative to ocean. Alright, so the height range, say we wanted it to, what's the highest peak here? 408, so say I wanted it to be from 400 to 500. Where's my mouse? Or 200, let's say 200. You could see the cutoff here. This is pretty cool. You could do a bunch of stuff with this. So now you can make it, you know, only appear at certain heights, and then you could probably smooth it here. Height smooth. Probably minimum maximum. Let me see. Yeah, there you go. You could smooth it down. And this is where the water would run off. It's really, really brilliant software. Interesting. I'll have to learn some more about this, but in the center here I wanted something like, I think I'll add a crater here. That would be kind of cool, because that's where the giant's supposed to be. It's somewhere here hiding out. So maybe I could add a crater and then kind of build a story around that. This plane is definitely too flat. Huh. Where's the heat map? take off the height select here. And let's keep the noise, and let me see if I could break that up some more. Octaves. There we go. This is a genius piece of software. So now you could break it up using the noise. You could set the scale of the noise to really fine or really. And that's for each one of the textures on top of the flow. So let me see how this is going to look without the heat map. Toggle heat map. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So now there's just so much variation. And if you make it smaller, you blend more maps, it's gonna look really good. Especially if you do it for every single one of them you have. So you don't see any tiling from the sky. You just break it up and just mix everything in. Alright, let me see. Scale. So the texture itself, tile X size, let's make it 2. So it's smaller, right? Is it smaller? Let's make it 0.1 and see. Okay. So yeah, it was working, I just wasn't seeing the changes. Alright, so you could change the size of this. Let me add some. Can I add a flow to this? Yeah, I could add a flow to this too. See, add some noise to this. heat map. Change the scale. Break this up and then this grass. Wait, which is the one that's tiling? Oh, it's that one. Okay. I thought there was an option to make. There's an option to help with the tiling. To help remove the tiling of. Kind of like an auto remove tile. Use weight gradient. Use height gradient. Normal. Add some noise, but not as much. Yeah, I'll have to do some serious studying on all those settings. Um, yeah, since I applied all that noise, it's just being applied to the entire map. So instead of seeing just rock faces and stuff like that going straight down, it's just applying it to everything else. But overall, the island is not looking too shabby. Needs a lot more work, but it's not looking too shabby as far as, hey, getting in there and trying to figure out what type of world you could create and cities and all of that type of stuff. So it's not too bad, not too bad. Um, but yeah, I definitely need to figure out a lot more stuff. Alright, it's late. I think I'm gonna call it a night. I think I got some good progress today. Um, Lots more to learn, but just staring at this screen is giving me a bunch of ideas for assets, and things that you could do. So, yeah, I even think the land right now is I think it's good enough to bring into the engine and then tweak it some more with uh, the engine tools, I should say, because you get a lot more. I won't say you get a lot more control, but some of the tools are a little bit easier to use, and start getting a feel for how the game could be. So I think I'm gonna call it a night, and I'll come back tomorrow, please God, and see what else I could tweak. Still have to learn about the texturing, so I could just bring the height map in to Unity and see how it's gonna look in Unity, and run around, put the characters from the game that I am creating. Just have them run around, just get a feel for the areas and stuff like that. Yeah, so thanks for coming out, and I'll see you.